Imagine 20,000 elephants crashing into the earth. That's the kind of force a steel mill handles every single day. But before those mills, before machines, before skyscrapers, there was fire, rocks, and human curiosity. Today, we begin our journey into the history of steel. Hello everyone, I am Syed Fazal Mehdi, your guide through the world of steel. Welcome to the Voices of Steel, where we break complex steel concepts into simple stories. If you are new to the steel industry, this channel is for you. Our journey starts over 6,000 years ago. The first iron used by humans didn't come from earth, it fell from the sky. Ancient Egyptians and Sumerians crafted beads and blades from meteorite iron, fragment of space rocks in iron and nickel. They didn't know it, but this civilization were handling the earliest form of steel, meteorite iron. Iron that comes from space rocks, rare, naturally alloyed with nickel. By 2000 BC, humans figured out something revolutionary: how to extract iron from rocks using fire. The process is called smelting, and they did it using a furnace called bloomery, an ancient furnace that used charcoal and air to convert iron into the lump of soft, spongy iron called a bloom. This bloom was full of slag, impurities, but once hammered and purified, it gave us wrought iron, soft, bendable, and perfect for tools, but not yet strong enough for buildings or engines. Fast forward to around 1100 BC. Blacksmith in India, China, and Middle East discovered a secret. If you heat iron in a charcoal fire long enough, carbon from charcoal seeps into it, and that changes everything. Steel, an alloy of iron and carbon, more carbon equals to stronger and harder steel. This process is called carburization, gave rise to early steel tools and weapons, tough, sharp, and durable, perfect for swords and chisels. As society advanced, they scaled up their furnaces. In medieval Europe, the blast furnaces emerged. It used bellows to blast air into the fire, burning hotter and producing cast iron. Blast furnace, a tall structure where iron ore, charcoal, and limestones are layered and blasted with air to extract iron. Cast iron was strong but brittle. It shattered under tension. Still, it worked great for cannonballs, stoves, and pipes. The Industrial Revolution brought major breakthroughs. In 1709, Abraham Darby used coke instead of charcoal to smelt iron. Coke is a purified form of coal that burns cleaner and hotter than regular charcoal. This meant cheaper fuel, hotter furnaces, and more iron. Add some limestones, a flux, and you can remove more impurities. We were getting closer to strong and scalable steel. Then came Benjamin Huntsman in 1740. He took blister steel, already carburized, and melted in clay pots at ultra-high temperature. This gave us crucible steel, purer, stronger, and more consistent. Crucible steel, high-quality steel made by melting iron and carbon together in a closed pot. It was expensive, but it laid the groundwork for modern precision steel tools, and it showed us what was possible. So, from meteorites to bloomeries, blast furnaces to crucibles, we have come a long way in just a few thousand years. Each step made steel more accessible, stronger, and better suited to shape the modern world. In the next episode, we'll meet the men who changed everything. Bessemer, Siemens, Martin. They didn't just make the steel, they made it cheap, and that changed the world. If you enjoyed this story, please like, comment, and subscribe to the Voices of Steel. And if you have got question about something we have covered today, feel free to drop a comment below. I will try to answer as many as I can.